Do you love classical education? Are you looking at that like in your homeschooling and thinking, what are some great resources out there that I could be using, like a good curriculum? Well, here is one for you. Memoria Press. I'm going to have a look as it is such a great classical education curriculum. So let's check that out. Hi, and welcome to Learning Life. And thank you so much for joining me today as I do another review, which I love. I love diving in and seeing what is there that's available. Like, how can I help people with this? I want to look at Memoria Press, which is actually like a publisher. So they have a range of resources, but great curriculum sets and lesson plans and literature guides and videos and everything that will cover from like pre-K to 12th grade. Have you checked out any of my other curriculum reviews? There are so many great curricula that are out there, and I know that it can feel overwhelming, but I love to bring these reviews because I want to help. I want you to see what is out there, what might be best for your family. So thank you for checking those out, and thank you for your likes and subscribes and just being part of this learning life. Now, Memoria Press is a classical Christian homeschool curriculum. The whole lot, we'll call it the curriculum that emphasizes like traditional education, traditional literature, the great books, and high academic standards. Not everyone is looking for a classical education curriculum, but if you are, Memoria Press has strong offerings and is highly recommended in the classical education community. It has its great like mission statement, and I love a firm mission statement, saving Western civilization one student at a time. And they are clear that they are passing on the cultural heritage of the Christian West through the great books. Now, what are the great books, you ask? Well, they are books that are considered to be great. Great books, it goes with the name, because they are the foundation of like the Western civilization's intellectual, cultural, and spiritual framework. Memoria Press has a list of 12 great Christian novels, and you can check those out on their website. If you are wondering about classical education, you're like, what is classical education? It sounds intriguing. I would like to know more. Is it right for me? Check it out. Let's answer this for you. Let's watch this video and go, oh, that's what classical education is. I get it. Now, it really does stand out in its style and its features compared to other styles of homeschooling or education. Key features of Memoria Press. The greatest strength is this classical education. It's based on the trivium, however you want to pronounce tri or tree, grammar, logic, and rhetoric. Those are the 3 levels that your students will move up through, that your children get to grow through. And the curriculum provides that structured and systematic approach to learning that really can appeal to people. It does have a strong Christian worldview, and this is integrated fully into the curriculum. They emphasize like moral and spiritual development. They focus on Bible literacy and knowledge of church history, which is very interesting, and developing a strong faith and that Christian consciousness. It is classical, so yes, Latin and Greek language programs are a core component of this curriculum. And Latin is very interesting. So is Greek. It's great to see how like this all ties in. It is literature-based learning, which I love. So literature is used as that primary tool for teaching the subjects like history and science and language arts. We're not separating it out. And of course, classic literature is the foundation of this. As I said, it does provide that systematic approach to learning. It is clear, it is structured, it is a well thought through progression that your children will work through. And it does hold high, rigorous academic standards, which is very important for some people. Memoria Press really believes in preparing students for college and in that preparing them for beyond. I love that it teaches critical thinking. It's always a plus in my mind if a curriculum has critical thinking as part of it. And they have a really strong online community. There is the Memoria Press forum where you can get answers to all your questions, and especially about classical education. You're getting placement advice. Oh, you've got troubleshooting issues come here. Get ideas from veteran moms, get help from the Memoria Press staff. Like, That is phenomenal. Like, so much information can be gleaned just even looking at the forum. And then there's also Facebook groups, and there's a podcast you can listen to. 2 special components. There are 2 components of Memoria Press that stand out to me. One is that they have their online academy, and this was founded in 2006. It's really strong. It is accredited for those that is important. Have that classical education at home, but still have an accredited curriculum. This is for grades 3 to 12. The other that I love is Simply Classical, and this is a program for children with special needs. You will need to do an assessment to see what they recommend for your child. And in this, it's not your usual grade level curriculum. They've got different levels within Simply Classical, and they are fully customizable because their heart is really that slower pace with ample review that are really going to help our children that might have learning issues. Memoria Press wants that rich, beautiful content of classical education being available to all. Now, if you're wondering, my child has learning issues, or I've got this, we've got that, could I do a classical education? I would encourage you to read the book Simply Classical, A Beautiful Education for Any Child by Cheryl Swope. I was really going to give you a lot of great information. It was a very interesting read, and she's the one who created and crafted this program. Cost of Memoria Press. The cost is depending on the grade, and it is a range. So maybe in preschool, you're really looking at, and these are full packages, around $235 up into the $900 for 9th grade. In looking around and putting it together, there's no right now complete packages for 10th to 12th, but they've got all the things that you would need. You sort of get to pick and choose more in your high school grades. You can buy digital, or print lesson plans that go with the curriculum. And these range from $3 to $15 for digital or $4 to $16 for print, just what is easier for you. And there are many great resources for each subject, and you really can purchase what you want and what you need. So we've got the full packages. We've got all of these other things. Keep in mind, though, that if we're buying additional resources, they can quickly add up. In looking at some of the curriculum options out there, Memoria Press is sort of higher up on the overall cost per year, but you can reuse things, and this is always great. And it's just something that you take into account when you're looking at your budget. Other thoughts and my opinions. This is a fully integrated Christian worldview program. So it's not going to align with everyone's beliefs. You can't say, but I want a classical education, but without having all of this Christian stuff, you can't take that out. So that is something to keep in mind. It is very time intensive for parents. This is not an open and go curriculum. I love an open and go, when you've got that. And I really found that you have to spend time reading the lesson plans, the curriculum manuals, the teacher guides. There is a lot of prep. It felt a little overwhelming, for me, and that is even as a teacher. But once you've got that prep, and I think you get into your groove, you're going to find that a little bit easier, but you're going to have that prep time. And you will be actively involved in teaching and in the supervision of these things. Personally, I feel that the workload can be demanding for both parents and students. It might especially feel overwhelming in the early years as you find that groove. As with all classical education, this curriculum is structured, and maybe it doesn't have as much flexibility as some other options. But this being said, you can choose select parts of the curriculum to use as you put together what's best for your family. So if you're I like this aspect of it and I want to use that, you can, and I'm going to add it with other things. I like that sort of flexibility, that pick and choose. Memoria Press does not write its own math curriculum, except they do have now pre-algebra and algebra 1. So for elementary grades, you will purchase and use Rod and Staff, or you could pick your own. You don't have to use that. In the upper years, they really make the most of video text resources. Both of these are solid math curriculum, but again, you could pick the one that you wanted to use math as part of this curriculum. I really do like that as they've been developing, they have tested this in a brick and mortar school setting. So classrooms, they're there. They know that they are providing you with things that they have seen work firsthand. And so if it can be working there in the classroom, it can be working at home. They also have the Classical Teacher Catalog, where you can see the whole offerings, as well as like hearing, like they've got articles in there, like the range of topics, including like Latin and phonics and classical education, like all of those different things. If you are emotionally invested in classical education, then Memoria Press is one of the strongest options out there, in my opinion. Like their parent resources with the forum and articles, like are so there to have you set up for success. And to me, that is always something that is a beautiful thing. So if you are looking for like that classical education and you want strong support, this is a winner for you. I love aspects of classical education, but it's not something that I'm doing with my girls. But it is one that I will recommend and say, hey, you want classical? Check out Memoria Press. So why not check them out and see what they have to offer you? Go online, have a look, because it really just could be the right choice for you. And thank you so much for watching and being part of this learning life. Check out some of my other curriculum reviews out there. As you're diving into homeschooling, it can get overwhelming. If you're not really sure about it, why not check out my How to Homeschool course? I go through things a lot at the beginning and then help you to select your curriculum, and so like knowing what's out there is like, that's my heart. Check out my website, LearningThis.Life, that has the How to Homeschool course, has like all the different posts for the different curriculum reviews, other great resources there for you. And if you want to help to get these videos out there, you can do that by becoming a champion. So check that out at patreon.com or at my website, LearningThis.Life.